12 short months ago, there was a triangular hall in Chandwell that spanned from High Street on the right to Bridge Lane on the left. And now, at the end of 2023, we can walk out of the railway, gaze up High Street, stroll past Revs and the Town Hall, past Club Passion and peer along Goat Beck at the concrete splendour of the indoor market, Market Tower and the Market Precinct. Welcome to Chandwell. My name's Michael and I'm making this N-scale model of a West Yorkshire rundown town set in 1993. 2023 was a busy year in Chandwell and I made lots of progress, and I've got many plans for 2024 as well. So join me then as we look back at 2023 and forwards to 2024. If 2023 was a year of 3/3, then the first third was behind the viaduct. I used trial and error to get the back scene done in a forced perspective way to suggest that High Street curved away up the hill, and this was all based on prototypes in Bradford. I used forced perspective again and the sticky label method to give the impression of these 1960s concrete shops vanishing into the distance. These shops are all made up and I enjoyed drawing them in Inkscape, only to squish them into perspective for High Street. Bradford made another appearance with the back of High Street. These were again all drawn in the free software Inkscape before being desaturated and printed in a simple stack to suggest distance. I used a single graduated fill on the windows as a whole to suggest sunlight glancing off the whole street, and the effect was incredibly effective. I had a lot of fun building the indoor market, based on a prototype in Shipley. I can't get my camera in here anymore, but the effect of looking into the interior is surprisingly good. But it was the monstrous controversy just outside in the precinct, which was a highlight of 2023. If you have ever seen the real tower in Shipley, you'll either love it or hate it. Granted, you probably hate it, but I had long wanted it to be part of Chandwell. When I introduced the concept to my channel members, some were aghast and advised me against adding such a large, dominating piece of concrete brutalism in the middle of Chandwell. This of course spurred me on all the more. Placed here with the planters and skateboarders, it is a superb expression of 1960s modernism. It's a concrete beacon, lighting the path to a more prosperous future for a declining town. We had a guest appearance in 2023. My friend Adrian makes the most spectacular buildings in 00 scale, using the similar techniques as I do in Chandwell. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, and his work really does deserve to be seen by a wider audience. It was great to show Adrian's work in March, and I hope to show much more of it in future. Chandwell is populated by characters, and it was great to introduce 2 more this year. In March, we met enthusiastic local businessman Ben of Ben's Beds.
Think of beds, think of Ben. We do beds. Divan beds, bunk beds, storage beds, beds for your kids, beds for your granny. 3 floors of beds. This month only, Mattress Madness. Any mattress cheaper would be illegal. Ben's Beds, High Street Chandwell, opposite the Earl Chandfield. Tell them Ben sent you.
And then in May, it was great to introduce the world to Johnny McShae. Johnny is a Chandwell boy who shot to infamy in 1984, where in his only season as a mid-flight rally driver he failed to finish the Chandwell moor leg due to an incident with a pheasant. He now drives for Tim's Cars in town, but he lends his infamy to advertising Revs. I hope we'll see more from the pair next year. You can already spot Johnny here and there across town. I loved building High Street. A chance walk through Sorby Bridge with my good friend Simon gave me the obvious choice and antithesis to the clock tower. I would make Sorby Bridge Town Hall Chandwell's Town Hall. But nothing is as it seems in Chandwell. The beautiful building has been taken over by Ben's Beds, Cumming and Harper Architects, and the beautiful upmarket and absolutely not cheesy nightclub, Club Passion. I had fun with the various cylinders that stacked up to make the tower. I got a lot of help from viewers and eventually found a wonderful technique for making cylinders. I also pushed the boundaries of my usual techniques, using strange new materials such as 3D decorative fingernail stickers, Tibetan jewellery, and even silver sugar balls to make the finials. I had just as much fun with Revs next door. This ex-Wesleyan assembly hall was based on Chapel House in Ilkley, and the beautiful window tracery was made with nothing but layer upon layer of hand-cut paper. Once again, the beautiful stonework and even the memorial carving has been partly obscured by the branding of Chandwell's down-market businesses. In this case, car parts supplier Revs. Round the back emerged an old waterway, bubbling from under the market precinct and running along the back of High Street. I held a competition to name it. Goat Beck was the winner, and now it flows, strewn with rubbish, into the Chandell, just off scene, past the right-angled corner in Water Lane. I enjoyed sharing real places this year. I visited Shipley, Ilkley and Otley, looking for inspiration, and I enjoyed sharing a visit to the magnificent Ribblehead Viaduct with my channel members in a September members update. Did you know that I make a behind the scenes video for my channel members every week? It's a 5-minute discussion about whatever I've been up to that week, and in the comments there is often lively discussion about whatever problem I am facing with my current build. There's a button on my channel if you're interested in joining the growing community of members. It's a great way of supporting the channel and encouraging its growth. Don't worry though, you're under no obligation, and I'm not going to stop making my regular videos, which I publish on average about once a week. The last 10 normal episodes of the year focused on my journey to make Station Road. We started with looking for inspiration in Shipley and Ilkley, and watched through the simple mock-ups, the battling with size and scales, and the making of various prototypes. 10 weeks later, we had completed the bottom 3 premises: Graham and Grant, Chandy Candy, and the railway pub. I almost overdid the weathering on this one, but I'm pleased with the final result. The 24th of April was a really special day when Chandwell received its 10,000th subscriber. It is incredibly humbling to think that my daft videos entertain, encourage and inspire so many viewers. I'm forever blown away by your positive comments, words of thanks, encouragement and support. Every single comment is read and cherished, and I thank you very much for every single one of them in 2023. You have viewed Chandwell over 492,000 times this year. I'm under no illusions that about 300,000 of those are probably from my 2 biggest fans. So I say to you, Mum and Dad, on today, your 50th wedding anniversary, thank you for all of your support and encouragement. Not just for Chandwell, but for everything over those amazing years together. Wish you all the best and for many more to come. So what's in store for 2024? Station Road needs to be completed. This block is based on Shipley, and this is part of Brook Street in Ilkley. There will be 16 individual premises on this street. It won't be without its challenges. I have curved glass windows to contend with, complex roofs, towers, dormers, complicated rears. It's going to be great. I think it's going to take about 6 months. Some of you have suggested that Chandwell will be complete about then, but no, that's not correct. It will only be about half done. This section is next. It's enormous, and it's going to be interesting. I'm not going to plant a couple of large mills here and be done with it. I'm going to add many buildings. I'm going to hone my understanding of forced perspective and have a section here that looks to be a packed and decrepit industrial complex. There will be an 18-storey 1960s residential tower block based on Landstone Towers in Sorby Bridge. There will be mills, factories and decay. I'm especially looking forward to seeing the reflections finally appear on the surface of the Chandell. It's going to be a complex and time-consuming build. I think it'll probably take between 18 months and 2 years, so there's still a lot to come. December was a busy month in the real world. I was playing the part of Bob Cratchit in a local production of A Christmas Carol, so I didn't have much time for Chandwell. I relaxed though by drawing. All of my scratch builds start off in Inkscape as a jumble of rectangles and lines in all kinds of colours. I realised that by rearranging them and colouring them in differently, by adding shading and highlights and adding an interesting frame, I can create little works of art in their own right. I thoroughly enjoyed making these, and so I'll show you a few now as we look forward to the end of 2023 and a new beginning for Station Road. To all of my viewers, old and new, to everyone who has given me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a comment of thanks, a comment of encouragement, or a comment of criticism. To everyone who has joined to be a member, to everyone who hasn't. To everyone who has stuck with me through this video, to everyone who's been with me since the start, and to everybody who this might be their first visit to Chandwell, Happy New Year. May the next year bring you peace, happiness and prosperity. All the best and a Happy New Year from Chandwell.